leader.
His instincts have been phenomenal. And guys, it's been a big foreign policy week for President Trump, as I've said. He held the first state dinner for the French President Emmanuel Macron, and today he met with German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Germany and Europe have to take their destiny into their own hands, because we can no longer, as we used to during the period of the Cold War, during the years when Germany was divided, rely on America coming and helping us.
We need a reciprocal relationship, which we don't have. The United States right now has a trade deficit with the European Union of $151 billion. And the Chancellor and I have discussed it today at length, and we're working on it, and we want to make it more fair, and the Chancellor wants to make it more fair.
Mike Pillsbury, is it just me, or did Angela Merkel, at a couple of points during that press conference, look like she ate some bad schnitzel or something? She did not look all that thrilled. She had to be there, but she doesn't like Trump. She doesn't like being bossed around by the Americans, let's face it. But she had to come here, and she had to deal with them. What was your thought?
Well, I think she's motivated by her own China problems. The German media has now exposed quite a bit of technology theft by China, a serious internal sort of influence operations inside Germany. So the rise of China in terms of German attention to it is a big problem. And there's an effort now for the Germans, the French, and others through the European Union to take joint action with the United States on these predatory trade practices of China. She didn't mention that in her talk, but I think it's behind the scenes what's very much going through Merkel's mind.
I also think, Riley, Angela Merkel wanted some relief from these tariffs. My sources tonight are telling me the president did not give her the relief that she wanted on May 1st. We'll see what happens after that. She came to get, in part, some assurances on that front. And Donald Trump, he was very clear. He was very cordial to her, but
that's right.
You know, it's got to be a reciprocal relationship here. It can't be, you know, Edgar Winter's group. You're too young with the song "Free Ride." No more free ride. Where it's going to be a mutual relationship, and that's how it's going to go down.
I think the Angela Merkel, she definitely, the relationship they had this meeting was definitely better than the last time they met. And she's coming in third if we kind of see the Prime Minister of Japan visiting 2 weeks ago, Macron visiting this week. And
she could have been first, but she blew the relationship.
But it's not just her asking for exemptions, too. It was Macron. It's the EU who's asking for exemptions on these tariffs. And so, you know, obviously we do want to target China on a lot of these non-fair issues, but you know, at the same time we end up hurting our friends and allies like Japan and those in the EU who would be supportive of us in a contention, a national security concern, one of those things. The purpose of these tariffs itself were to address national security, and even the argument made by the administration during the initial implementation were shoddy at best. And so now it's sort of
shoddy. What are you talking? This is where the conservatives drive me crazy. You tell me what the alternative is to tariffs with China.
That's right.
We tried to take them to the World Trade Court. They said, yes, we accept your judgment, and then they don't implement it. We tried to work with our European counterparts. We did. China says, thank you very much. I'll take another. And then they don't do anything. We've warned them. We've met with them. He did every manner of diplomacy. And Congressman, Donald Trump got to the point where, frankly, these previous presidents should have been at 15 years ago. And we got walked all over by China, and now they're coming and they're buying seed money into our early upstart corporations, early funding of major tech companies. They are in our high tech industry like never before, and that's just the beginning of what they're doing.
Absolutely. They manipulate their currency. They steal our intellectual property. They treat our products unfairly. The president is showing bold leadership that have not been seen by other leaders of either party, frankly, for decades. I think it's fascinating to see this litany of world leaders who are now coming to meet this president because they realize who the leader of the world is right now. It's President Trump. You see it with the German leader, the Japanese leader, the French leader, what's happening now in North Korea. Listen, this president is showing that strength. When America is strong, America is way better off. And I can tell you, out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, people get it. They may not get it on the coast, but out here in the middle of this country, people understand that this president's leadership is making a difference both economically and in strengthening America on the world stage. It's a big deal.
Mike Pillsbury, we're almost out of time, but the future is either going to be China's or it's going to be ours. I prefer that it's the future of the land of the free, because if China ends up dominating these industries, all these academic arguments about tariffs, they're over. I mean, the whole freedom measurement is down. We lose, they win. It's over for freedom and sovereignty. Last thought.
Laura, I have some good news for you. If you go back to the year 2000, you'll find a book by Donald Trump called The America We Deserve. It's got an 8-page section on China with all of these criticisms made then and the desire to be tough already spelled out. So this is not something new for Donald Trump. He's been thinking about it a long time. Now this is his chance to implement his original vision, I think.
That's right.
He was way ahead of the curve. Guys, thanks. Fantastic panel. And I want you to stay there for a debate you just can't miss. I talked to the head of a group